Oh, we are ready for you, man. We're trying to beat the man. So we got to hurry up, Gas. We got to get this thing going here because I hear sirens in the distance. I know I got an idea who they're coming for, and I'm not ready for them yet.
I got to say, and not that we're necessarily concerned with increasing our millions and millions of listeners and viewers, you getting arrested during a podcast would really, juice the numbers on this thing if you're up for it.
Let's keep it in our back pocket, all right? Let's keep it in our back pocket.
Fair enough.
And by the way, I understand that our patron site has changed now. It's now known as Puck Max.
Puck? It really? I didn't get the memo on this. Puck Max?
Puck Max. Just like HBO switched to HBO Max. Now it's Puck Max.
I like that.
I like it too.
I've been too busy asking all the pretty girls in the Puck office if they want to go see Coldplay with me, so I haven't really been paying attention to the memos. So I hope Puck HR isn't on me for that. I hope that doesn't become a problem.
It's good stuff there, Maynard. It's good stuff. Nice weekend, man. It was a nice weekend of things going on, and I thought, I think everyone did, that Ichiro was going to be terrific going into the Hall of Fame, and maybe he surprised some people. I don't think he surprised me any. I doubt he surprised you any. We've kind of gotten the feel for what this guy is like and what this guy is, and what a class act he is on the one hand, and how funny he can be on the other hand, and he kind of let everyone see everything. I thought on Sunday.
I thought it was like, and I don't know, I wasn't surprised, but I'd never seen any of that out of him. And I thought it was so cool. We've heard it for years. He's got this great sense of humor. He's really dry. He's really funny. And that's one thing when somebody's telling you that. Once, eventually you got to see it. And he chose, which is within his rights, to be very close to the vest, very secretive. I used to call him our Garbo-esque right fielder. He just didn't want attention while he was playing. And for him to open up like that yesterday, to tell the stories he told, to tell the sweet story about his wife, to tell the funny story about his dinner invitation is now expired to the guy who didn't vote for it.
The Rizzy impression?
The Rizzy impression, it was like seeing this guy that you'd known for 25 years, but you'd never had a conversation with. It was so cool. It's one of the neatest things I've ever seen, because it always bugged me that he wouldn't open up some, because I'm selfish. I'm in the storytelling business. I wanted him to tell stories and to give access, not just necessarily to me, but to everybody. Let us know who you are, man. He chose not to do that as much, which is fine. It didn't hurt his career any.
No.
I was really impressed, Dave. I was super impressed by how he handled it and his comic timing and just his reverence for the game, which we already knew that, but it was, I thought, perfect.
I thought he had opened up actually quite a bit when he did his Mariner going into the Mariner Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. It was that last year, and he did that all in English and had a lot of fun with Junior and those guys. And then you saw the story with the Ichi fan, and how he did all that throughout the first pitch. So since he's played, I think he's shown more signs of that over the years. You're definitely right in terms of a player. When we're covering him, he got none of that. Yeah. But, and then by the way, he does the interview after it with his interpreter, and did a 30-minute. I don't call it a pregame show, but an interview with Bob Costas, which was also done with an interpreter. So he's still got that side of him. But you're right, he really opened up in every aspect for everyone, and it was a great speech. It was a great speech, and it was a good day. I mean, the Hall of Fame basically specializes in good days. It seems the last couple of years they've gotten really good at it, but they seem to have gotten, I don't know what the right word is, Gas. I mean, more compelling stories. Maybe it's the guys who are been out for 20, 25 years or finally getting in. It's just got a better feel to it for me over the past couple of years.
It's more transparent, and not that they weren't trying to be transparent, but they never used to televise the induction. Cooperstown was a mythical place because most people had never seen it either, and now over the last 25 years, as TV explodes and there's more and more channels. And I mean, I watched the whole show. I don't watch it every year, but when I'm not doing anything, I love watching the old guys walk out. I mean, when I was there, I'm sure it was the same for you because you were there for Niehaus. When they when Hank Aaron walked out at Edgar's, and one of the last times anybody saw Hank, it's just it's overwhelming. You can't quite believe you're in the same field with Hank Aaron. It's just, and that's the other thing is it's so, in every right way, like lowbrow. It's just a field out behind these baseball. It's not anything fancy, and
everything's small. Great. It really is a great spot for it. Niehaus, had I think he credited the line to not sure who he credited it to. Maybe you remember, but he said, if baseball wasn't invented here, it should have been.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a great line about it. And that's the truth. There's a baseball field right behind it where they actually play games, and it's truly a one stoplight town.
Yeah,
There's a flashing red light. It's not even a regular stoplight.
Yeah, it's I always love telling you the story about the first time Renee and I went was in October. We were at we were just out there for something else and drove up there to see it. Nothing going on. And we're in Cooperstown the night the baseball playoffs start. And I'm like, all right, we're walking down to Abner Doubledays and we're getting a drink and we're watching the playoffs. And every TV in Abner Doubledays was on the Sabres opening night game over in Buffalo. You guys gonna have the playoffs on? Oh yeah, so it's small town, man. It's very small town and wonderful. And needless to say, if you ever get the chance to go. But Ichiro, I thought I was a little worried because, oh my God, he's going to be the last guy. And what if he's, to wonder that he wouldn't be on top of his game is stupid because, of course, he'd be on top of his game. You know what struck me as I watched it yesterday, Dave, being the music nerd that I am? I drew a comparison. Ichiro is Bob Dylan. I mean, he's a genius.
Not bad.
He's at the top of his, but Bob Dylan, if you've ever seen him in concert, generally, the lights go out. He walks out, doesn't acknowledge anybody, sits down, plays this incredible music for 2 hours, gets up, walks off. I mean, there's a quote from him where he's saying, look, I appreciate that people come to see me, but as far as, hey, Cleveland, how you doing? I don't care. And Ichiro kind of was like that. It was like, I'm going to do my craft. I thought the story of him, they'll be weighing his bats and cleaning his cleats and doing all that. I mean, it's how you get to be that good as you are a perfectionist, and that's all you care about. Talking to the media, I don't care about that. That's not going to help me get better. And it wasn't like he didn't talk to the media, but you know what I mean.
I do.
He was listening always.
If they can, I can't think of any reason not to have him more. I don't know what his involvement is now, but this is a guy who should be really involved in your baseball team. Mm-hmm. He's living in Seattle. He's still a Mariner. I don't know if he helps out or what. He may not want to do it, but that's a guy I'd be pushing to have in the front office as call it a quality consultant if you want it.
Yeah.
This is a guy you should be listening to every day. This is a guy who should be dealing with players every day. This is a guy who can add a lot to your organization, I think, if he's a bigger part of it, if that's what he wants to do. I'm speaking for him. I don't know that he wants to do it, but if he does, man, I hope they wouldn't hesitate.
Here's a story I heard, and this is Ichiro, man, because I agree with you. I was told by somebody within the M's, he's in there almost every day. He comes in, puts on a uniform, works out. But they said that at first, like the players are like, God, I wish he'd help me. And they had to bridge the gap. And he was like, I'm not going to go up and tell a player what to do. If he wants help, he can come to me. So they had to bridge that gap that Ichiro is so cognizant of those kind of things that he wouldn't go over and say to a guy, hey, here's what you're doing wrong. He waits for the person to come to him. So I think he is involved a little bit. Okay. And, he's, I walked away yesterday just so happy for him and happy for the organization because I always have felt he's a little distant. And he wasn't yesterday. He was open and accessible and funny. And, they did a little video of him afterwards, just on the Mariners like social media channel saying, okay, Hall of Fame's over. Trident up, Mariner fans. He's I don't know. I really, really came away yesterday just so impressed with him.
Well, you know what, Gas, a final thing on it from my standpoint is I was thinking about him as well. And you know what? I mean, in my almost 40 years here and your 40 years here, one thing that occurred to me is, was there ever a bigger surprise than Ichiro? In terms of the first season coming in? I mean, you knew he had been good in Japan, but expectations weren't that high. The team had been great, but they had lost Alex and Griffey. And, this guy was MVP and Rookie of the Year in his first year without ever having, set foot in an American stadium. I mean, I can't think of anyone else. I mean, other guys, came in with a lot of fanfare, but they lived up to it. This guy was the most surprising. I mean, Cal Raleigh is the one that reminded me of it because of his season, which is stepping up. But even this is not as surprising, I don't think, as a guy like Ichiro having that season, his first season here.
Yeah, Raleigh hit 35 home runs last year.
Right.
I mean, it's cool, but no, you're absolutely right. And I always loved the story about, Lou Piniella trying to tamp down expectations a bit at first, saying, look, let's see what this guy can do. And then he's just incredible. And Lou said, hey, I didn't say he couldn't do it. I just said, let's see what he could do. No, I think biggest surprise ever. And I looked it up yesterday, and it really is a damning indictment of the Mariners' baseball executives and baseball branch over the years that Junior, Edgar, and Ichiro, all told, played in 71 playoff games in their career combined.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ichiro played in some of them with New York. Junior played in a series with Cincinnati and a series with Chicago. It's unbelievable that they didn't get to the postseason more often. And to give you an idea, and this is a little bit of an unfair comparison, but those three Hall of Famers, 71 total playoff games. Derek Jeter, 158.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little unfair, but nevertheless.
Not that unfair.
It always, and you can, there's two ways to look at it. You can rip the M's a little bit. You can also just kind of go, God, what a weird sport. How could these three guys, with the exception of 95 with Edgar and Junior, there aren't seminal moments for any of them the way we think of other things. So, but it was neat to see those three and to see Randy. He's a part of this too. And for that matter, A-Rod ought to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you can hate him all you want, but he has the numbers certainly. And, to have that out of this organization with so little on-field success is remarkable, and also kind of pisses you off a little bit.
Oh, damning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not overshadowed by the news the Mariners made as they jumped big into the free agency thing. Got a guy in Josh Naylor who looks like, look, the best thing that Josh Naylor said is he loves to hit it at Quest. He loves to hit at T-Mobile Park. He loves to hit there, which is not something I hear many hitters say when they come here, but that sounds great. I mean, I'm glad. Can't wait to see it. And he's one of the two guys that maybe they still get Suarez, but he was one of the two guys I think were the two top offensive players. They got one of them.
Well, I like that they're saying off the record, enough reports, that they still want to get Suarez. They didn't have to give up much to get Naylor. I love that Naylor's gotten a hit in all three of his games so far. I mean, it's a small sample size, but good. That's what they need right now. And if they go get Suarez, that makes them that much deeper. And I saw DePoto saying today, we need a top end reliever. Which is, I agree. That's one of those things you can't have enough of. Go after anything that's out there, because this is. It's hopefully not going to be the only year, but this is a year where it's right in front of you. And too often this team, when it's been right in front of them, blinks and goes the other direction or doesn't do enough. And if you can't get a deal done, I get it, but you got to find a way to get a deal done. That's it.
Yeah, you talked about this being a big time for the Mariners a couple of weeks ago, and it is. I mean, they're playing in West Sacramento against the West Sacramento A's, and they just swept Houston. Texas, meanwhile, has won, I think, 9 of 10. Their pitching, like I thought, has really turned them on. I think they're tied with the Mariners now at 4 games back. So this is a big stretch of games coming up for them. Again, West Sacramento playing well, and then in come the Rangers. So it's nut grabbing time, man. It's intense for the next couple of weeks for these guys.
And they're playing well. They're not winning every day, obviously, but they're playing well.
Yeah.
And again, you keep making additions, and we've talked about it. That just juices up the clubhouse, and you're swapping in guys with experience and all that. This has been a fun season. I mean, it's not done. And Ichiro put an exclamation point on it yesterday. To me, it's all good right now. And again, hopefully they're not done. If they can get Suarez, great. If they can get a reliever, great. All of those things just add to the mix. And I like that they're in the mix and talking about this, because they need to acknowledge that. And good. And again, as you roll along, again, everything else is going pretty well. You're getting your contributions. There's no reason to think you're in this thing. You're not playing for the wild card, the old Jay Buhner thing. No, we're playing for the AL West right now, man. 4 games out, 4.5 games out. You're right in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're playing. You got to get to the World Series for it to be a successful year. I mean, people will be. It'll be nice if they get to get a couple rounds into the postseason, but this fan base has waited long enough.
Yeah, right.
Get there.
Yeah,
get there. Take advantage of this year and get there.
Absolutely. And then what else? Have you seen this? The MLB is Major League Baseball is playing a game at Bristol Motor Speedway. I've talked about this for a while.
Yeah.
It's been in the plans. They've got the cool photo of it now with the field laid down into the infield of the track. Bristol Motor Speedway is in Bristol, Tennessee. Those who don't know, it's the smallest track or second smallest track on the NASCAR circuit in terms of circumference. I guess it's a half-mile track, so it's tiny. Emerald Downs is a mile track. This is half that size. They've stuck a baseball field in the middle of it. It looks crazy. It's going to be crazy. They're going to set an all-time attendance record. And of all people, it took my nephew's wife on social media to make a perfect point about it. She goes, people who are saying this is stupid must never have seen the Winter Classic in the NHL. Because that's what this is. It's a fun thing to do.
I was going to just tell you, I think this is a great idea that a lot of sports are doing this. NASCAR, for example, speaking of NASCAR, did it at the LA Coliseum.
Right.
Ran a race there. Doing that, the Winter Classic is great, and I think expanding it in this way is great too. I mean, it's a fun thing to try, and why not? Why not try something interesting, try something new, try something fun? The Field of Dreams thing was a tremendous idea. It was a tremendous idea playing that game there in Iowa, and they had that magical first game where Tim Anderson hit the home run in the ninth into the corn. So, the more of that stuff, the better. So I think it's a great idea what they're doing in Bristol. And like I said to you, Gas, I think baseball, for the most part, is hitting the ball. I mean, they've not made many mistakes in my view in the past couple of years. They've really done a lot better than they have in the past in terms of coming up with things that are appealing to the game and appealing about the game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the home run derby and McAfee yelling at everybody. And the noise at baseball games you could dial down a bit. And I hope this isn't me getting old because I like plenty of noise. I always have. But it's like, we got to attract young, like, nah. But stuff like this will attract young fans and new fans.
Right.
Doing things like this, doing the Field of Dreams game. That's a great point. Doing this thing, and they're done. If it works, you can do it every year. If it doesn't work, it was a fun one-off and a fun thing to try. It's
and
perfect.
I think they want to do stuff like soccer fans. I mean, if the fans want to generate noise, that's fine. I think I know what you're driving at is you don't have to have the artificial noise. It doesn't have to be so loud.
Right. Just make noise, man. Go crazy. I don't
want to have a party at the game. Do it. Yeah. I mean, do it. It's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And no, the game hosts and stuff just kind of wear me down at various places. But maybe that's just me getting old. I don't think so, Groz. I don't feel old.
Well,
I don't feel tardy. Hey, how about your boy Ozzy? We should do a shout out for Ozzy Osbourne because boy, if you're well, really, it doesn't matter what vintage you are. Ozzy was a force of nature for
man.
5-6 decades and lived in his 70s. Kind of amazing. Somebody said, what did he die of? And I said, I think he just died of being Ozzy Osbourne eventually. But how neat was that they did that tribute show to him about a month ago, and he was able to sing and perform for about 20 minutes. It was really neat.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely one of those, and it's tiresome to say unique figures, but he really was. I mean, there wasn't anyone like him. He did. And he was. What was so interesting about him is when he did his comeback, Gas, and you were always obviously a music fan and were following it, and you saw him hook up with that young Randy Rhoads, who unfortunately he was just able to have a very brief partnership with. But he was one of those guys too. You could see this is a guy who understood his time, and his time was all time. Mm-hmm. He could always jump in and be something and do something special and be a part of the music scene and was. And then the fact that show started the wave of
reality shows,
reality TV, basically, good or bad. That was the first one, and that was a big one. So, I mean, he was definitely quite a character, and you're right, definitely a big loss. And unfortunately, Parkinson's got him at the end. He had it for probably about 15 years. He didn't announce it till I think 71, until he was 71. So we knew about it for the last 4 or 5 years. But another one that Parkinson's got, just like Dave Parker, who went to the Hall of Fame yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because Dave Parker II gave a great speech. It was obvious he had talked to his dad and had taken a bunch of notes. They kind of probably knew that even if Dave was still alive, he wasn't going to be able to go to the ceremony. I'm assuming that. I don't know. But either way, it was so well. And Dick Allen's wife, too. I think that's like the toughest thing ever. I got to get up and speak for somebody who's gone. Dick Allen's wife did a great job with his speech and talking about...
Definitely.
And didn't gloss over any of it. Dick was a tough guy at times, but the love was obviously there, and it was neat to see that too. It really was.
Hey, you know what? I think I'm getting ready to buy my first Seahawks jersey in a long time.
Who are you gonna buy?
Well, it's gonna be the first one in a long time, so it's a hint. I mean, it's not someone who's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, number 6.
Number 6, Julius Erving.
I wouldn't have known it until I was looking over the weekend. No, Jalen Milroe.
Okay.
I've just been watching, I never liked going to training camp, man. I'm not going to tell anyone anything different. I didn't like it. But in watching the clips that I've seen from this guy at training camp, I like him. I like his attitude. I like how he's playing. I like how he's relating to the fans. He seems like everything you want a rookie to be, and confident. He's going to play some. I like everything about him. He just is made one of those positive first impressions. I mean, I don't expect him to do anything this year, but who knows? Maybe he will do some stuff special this year. But I just like him. I think they really got a special player in him.
Yeah, and it's I saw Dan Patrick, I think, was saying everybody needs to tamp down the training camp hype. It's that time of year where everybody's going to go 17-0, win the Super Bowl and everything, which is just true of any sport this time of year. And it's fun. It's more fun to be optimistic than pessimistic, despite your pessimistic outlook on them last week, which is garnering rave reviews everywhere in the cyber space world.
I knew that would be loved.
I started looking at their schedule and kind of anticipating Groz sets the record straight here in a few weeks. It's going to be brutal, man.
Listen, it could be.
And, it's tough. I mean, they open with the Niners here and then at Pittsburgh. That's a tough 1-2 tango right away.
Because the Niners, they're in transition too, I think, Gas. I'm not sure how good they're going to be, but they've been good for a while here now. And Pittsburgh will be a challenge there against Aaron Rodgers. Still sounds strange to say.
Yeah,
but it's going to be an interesting year for them. And they had I think a fairly good week of practice. I mean, does that basically by guys getting hurt, and the only guy I heard of was Kenny McIntosh, one of their backup running backs who may be out for the season. So I suppose things are going fairly well so far.
I think they are, and it's also going well. And I just saw a thing about this. I don't know much about it, but I saw a note that Deion Sanders' press conference was today, and the announcement was that he's cancer-free. He's had a bout of bladder cancer.
Ugh.
But the first thing I saw, I just saw like 2 sentences, but basically the doctor's saying they think they got it all. I think they removed his bladder, which I didn't even know was possible. But he's okay for now. He's beaten the big. I mean, what he's done in his career, and given the health challenges he's had. I have to talk to you about health challenges, but you know what I mean. Deion's had a couple of rough things over the last couple of years, and good. The world's a better place with him around and in it. So I don't want him to be done yet. I want him to hang around and keep shaking the tree a little bit and getting everybody riled up.
No, I don't know if anyone has done as much as he's done in pro sports. I mean, this is a guy who, Bo Jackson was the phenom, and went to the All-Star game and had a year or two of baseball where he was a great player, and then, got hurt and wasn't and couldn't play in the NFL anymore. Where Deion came maybe a game away from being a World Series MVP. There's a chance he would have won it if the Braves had beaten the Yankees that first time in there. He hit over 350 in that World Series. He played 8-9 years of baseball and played a full football career and has become a tremendous college football coach on a couple of levels. I mean, this is a guy who's done a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe as much as anyone in pro sports and now in college sports as well. And yeah, I hope he's all right. I hope he can coach for a long time because he does make it a much more fun place.
Yeah, and guys have told us over the years that the prime, Coach Prime, the prime time when he was a player, all that is a character, and that behind the scenes he's thought of as one of the great teammates ever.
Yep.
In sports. Yeah, he's got a mouth and he doesn't mind using it and he'll create havoc, but that he is, but when everything's shut off and it's just him in the clubhouse or the locker room, that he's a go-to guy for a lot of people. So it's cool. Good for him.
Definitely.
Would you like to finish with a fun story, Groz? You usually like fun stories.
Sure.
We're headed to England, Groz. 2 seaside towns in southern England have been battling drunken behavior, not from their human pub patrons, but from the native seagulls in the region.
Do tell.
Seagulls in Bournemouth and Devon have been enjoying a tipple from leftover drinks from pubs, breweries, and drink containers left at the beach. Basically, witnesses say anywhere they can scavenge alcohol, they're doing it. The inebriated birds have been seen staggering along the beach as well as vomiting on passersby.
Come on.
Wildlife officers called in to treat the ill gulls report that they stink of alcohol. One official said of the seagulls, they seem to be developing a taste for booze. Oh, you think, do you? What's the government spend on that study? It sure seems like they have.
This is the birds coming to life, man.
Getting vomited on by a seagull might just be about the worst thing that could happen to you. A lot has gone wrong in your life if that's what happened.
Time to call it a day. If that's what it is, time to call it a day.
Time for us to call it a day. Adios, amigo.